All right, we are live on Facebook. Thank you all for being here. We'll get to the awesome artist in just a second. I've got to do some Huntley Fall Fest stuff really quickly. Huntley Fall Fest, September 25th, 26th, and 27th. We're going to have a great time. We are promoting that this is still going on with all the challenges that we're currently running. So we all know where we're at. We're not going to talk about that tonight. We're just going to talk about some fun stuff. And the funnest thing we have going on right now is this weekend, May 16th, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning, all the way to midnight. We have Live Fest, a live stream festival right here on Huntley Fall Fest. So thank you all for being here. These are some of the artists that are going to be here, and I'm going to pull a couple more people in here real quick. All right. Bryant here. How are you doing, Bryant? I just unmuted you.
Oh. I'm doing good. I'm trying to share on 17 pages right now.
Yeah, share away. Everyone, please share away. So tonight, Bryant, I didn't unmute anybody else yet, just you for this little quick thing. So we're still on track for having the Fall Fest, Huntley Fall Fest, September 25th, 26th, 27th. You're pretty in tune with it with your day job occupation. Have you heard anything other than that we're going forward with this fest that weekend?
It depends on who you talk to. It depends on what channel you watch on TV. It depends on the opinion that you hear. So we'll just keep kicking the can until it gets to September and then have the fest, or we cancel it. But as of now, it's still happening.
Right. So this weekend, May 16th, Saturday, you decided to put this Live Fest on. What was your thoughts behind that?
Well, I think, Pino, where are you? I can't find you on the screen. There you are, on the bottom. We said on March 14th that we put a virtual fest together. So, and I think when Jim was on for the other Q&A, we were talking about it and the Musicians Fund, and called everybody up and everybody said yes. So I think it's cool that everybody jumped in, and it's going to happen with 25 different sets. So I think it'll be a good thing.
Yeah, that'll be great. Everybody, you guys can unmute. I'm sorry, I should have said that before I pulled Bryant in. I can go around and click that unmute if we want here. How's everyone doing tonight?
I was holding my breath that whole time.
Dino.
Yeah.
Dino, you just got off doing a live show right here on Huntley Fall Fest. How was that for you? I do have a question in that regard, but how was it for you?
I mean, listen, these live streams are kind of a little interesting and surreal a bit. I mean, you're gauging your performance on the little like buttons or love buttons or angry buttons or smiley face buttons that are popping up on your screen as you're performing.
I like your love button, Pino.
You what?
I like your love button.
Guys, it was less than a minute before this thing started going off the rails. Good job, Jim.
I know.
No problem. No problem. That's what this is about, man.
Leave it to Turd Ferguson over there.
All right, I'm bringing Judson in here, so give him a second. So for all you guys, and we can go around the horn here. Let me just read everybody off. Gina and the Wingman, Gina Gonzalez, thank you for being here. Brian Kovacs and Company, and the Siberian, thank you for being here. Jennifer, where's Mark? Is Mark jumping on?
No.
Yeah.
He's got a new puppy. Yeah.
Oh. A lot of new puppies.
I was just going to say, a lot of new puppies.
A lot of pandemic puppies going on.
Everybody likes puppies.
Tamara from Libido Funk Circus, thank you. Michael Patterson, Hi-Fi Superstar.
Cheers.
Chris and Kate. Kate, I see you back there in the dark. Karma Committee's
hi,
on.
Jim.
Hillbilly Rockstar, Scott.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Eric Donner. Ral coming on or not?
I don't know if my brother's making it.
All right. I did send it to him. Tisa K and the Hype. I loved your song tonight, your one song tonight. That was great. Megan from Wedding Band, thank you. Josie from Serendipity, thanks for being here. You did a great interview last night. That was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Adam, how you doing? Adam LeBlanc from 16 Candles.
Hanging in there, not too bad. It's good to see everyone's faces.
So, Adam, I'll get back to the question from Pino in a second. I do have to ask, what do you think of the promotion that your counterpart Adam put together for this fest. Have you seen that yet?
I'm still working on my rebuttal.
Fantastic. We
It was
can't
hilarious. It was super great.
How about the one that someone else did that I sent you today?
wait. Oh yeah, that other one, that was good too.
Yeah, the one that some have seen in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sexy.
the infamous shower scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fun. All right, so for everybody, is it a tough thing? I know you said you don't get the backlash from the fans and stuff. You don't hear the crowd, you don't feel the crowd, but you see the likes and the hearts and all that. But is it challenging when you're doing these live feeds that people are just throwing songs and saying, do this song, do that song, do this song, and really you have your set list that you want to do or something like that?
It's not different from any other show, though. Everybody's always like, play this, play this. You're like, we have a set list, dude. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just nerves. It's like, oh, are they talking about me? Now you can't hear them or see their reactions. So, but it's fun. It's the thrill.
It is an interesting thing not having the direct feedback from the audience when you're performing. However, it has led to some kind of interesting things. I mean, I know in my set, I've done some songs that I would never do in a noisy bar or restaurant environment, and it allows you to really take some time and breathe with the songs and do those nice pregnant pauses where you're not afraid if somebody starts clapping because they think it's the end of the song.
For me, it's a typical hillbilly show. There's like 4 people. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it's multiple things to focus on at the same time. It's like you want to perform and you're thinking about what you're doing, but at the same time, it's like you want to interact. So it's a fine, funny kind of line to walk. And then at the same time, it's like I envy a lot of the people most of the people on here who are able to take requests and just kind of do it like that. Because for me, it's like if I don't know the song, I'm not gonna do it. But you know, like it's cool to see people just winging stuff that they're able to just kind of pull out. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I stick to a song a day.
A song a day.
yeah, Pino learns like new songs every like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gina and Eric are like great at doing that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
They're like, hold on, let me figure this out. Ugh, it's amazing.
It's more subdued when you're like subjected to just using tracks versus, because like Des and I, we don't play an instrument. So we kind of have our subjected to using tracks, and that's a whole process in itself of finding good tracks and then playing tracks and trying to make sure you have everything else set up the best you can with what you have. So when you have a guitar, you're kind of a little bit, it's awesome. It's to watch, I think Pino and Gina and Nick Cox and anybody who plays an instrument just flow. It's awesome, and I think it's what's the best thing has been watching everybody do different kind of music that's out of their element. That's been the cool thing.
That and just being able to actually watch everybody, like especially about this time of the season, where our schedules are, at least acoustic and full band, we're either doing festivals or patios or Sunday whatever. Like that's kind of where all of our, unfortunately, that's when all of it picks up. But it's been awesome to see. I've watched all of you guys. Like I've watched Adam's DJ sets. It's just so I never go out. I've never seen that live. But it's cool to just see
yes,
oh, so that's what he does. I never knew that. I've known the guy for 20 years. No idea he did that stuff. And just learning all, Pino and a lot of these the newer artists, like hearing what they're about, hearing their voices, and there's so much talent. It's so good. It's so fun to watch. There's been at least a month where I just sat, drank bourbon, and just made weird comments. Thank you all for keeping me.
Yeah, normally we'd be at a festival just saying hi to each other through it's a changeover. It'd be like, hey, gotta go. It'd be a few moments of time.
Yeah.
Hey, we just welcomed Gerald on. Gerald, how you doing? Nick Cox is on. Judson Brown is on. How are you guys doing?
Judson, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
How's Camille doing, Gerald?
She's doing good. She's on vocal rest tonight. We rehearse tomorrow, and then we perform, I guess, Friday and Saturday. So
awesome.
it's fantastic news.
Yeah, that's great news. We're all throwing our positive vibes out there for her. So
thank you. We appreciate that.
Hey, if anybody has one, I'm ready. And Scott, this one's for all of us. So
Oh,
good friends,
geez.
good times. Holler and
This is so
squalor,
cool.
as they say.
Cheers.
Ryan and Jim, I love you guys for putting this
I got
on.
mine. Can you see that? There we go.
There's the
Proud
oh,
over
yeah.
these kind of things. And I just love everybody, all the collaborations. Tisa, you're like an animal with just putting together these awesome collaborations. And now it's just cool to see like Pino was with he's been like with random people. I was like, how do you even know each other? And they put together this killer song. I forgot what you did with what's his
Dave
face?
McColskis. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, Dave. Well, Dave and I have never met before. Many of you, I haven't met many of you guys. I'm kind of very new to the scene here, but it's been pretty interesting with the technology that everybody has available to them as musicians. Some of us more than others, but having like personal recording studios where we can share files and be able to connect and collaborate like musically with just sharing music files back and forth and being able to put collaborations together.
That was super cool, by the way.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it's been great being able to meet all these new musicians and stuff. Not to give any secrets away, but Nick Cox down at the bottom of the screen there, he and I are working on something right now that I'm excited to get out there pretty soon. So that'll be fun.
That's awesome. So for everyone that has done those collaborations, have you wanted to work with those artists in the past and you just haven't been able to? Or was this just, hey, I'm going to do this because we can't do anything else? Tisa, how about you?
Well, I know for me, it was one of those things that when this whole thing first started, I never anticipated actually doing a song of the day. I just thought it'd be fun to throw together that big collaboration. We had a lot of the musicians here on it, and it was so much fun that I wanted to do more. And so I hit up a couple other people that I've always wanted to do some kind of collaboration with, and it's taken off from there. So it's been a freaking blast.
Yeah, and you, Jim, and Carrie put together the GoFundMe that we're all here for this weekend, right? Can you tell us all, and the fans that are watching, can you tell us what this GoFundMe is all about?
I'm going to let Jim take over because he has just this amazing broadcasting voice. So Jim, away you go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wacky Wednesday. Here's the detail.
I'm sorry, Turd. Go ahead, Turd Ferguson, please.
I appreciate some respect, artistic integrity. Right when this all went down, like right after St. Patty's Day, everything was closing down, and I could just see panic amongst all of my friends. It was just a freak out thing. So we had stuff in the works on ABC. Like I was like going all out, just seeing what we could do, what we'd get away with. If all these shows are canceling, taking 2 weeks off, not airing, there's all this free airtime. Now everyone's doing stuff from home, but the first couple of weeks they weren't. So I was trying to get us all like to do something like this, what Live Fest is, on a broader scale, and then try and like have that go from city to city so they could like raise money for musicians. And they were interested, but they wanted to help like local businesses and, you know, bigger entities. So that got dropped down. So I was talking with Carrie Devine, and the next thing was, well, let's start this. And then we just had 100 ideas of what we're going to do. And we worked with Jeff Kleinschmidt, Fiesta Days and McHenry and a bunch of other festivals. And so we had that going. We had 700 ideas, and then we got exhausted from ideas. And then we brought Tisa on, and she's like, I'm a teacher. Just let me do this, guys. And so
let me corral you crazy boys.
to put this together, and it's awesome. So many people have, you know, I think we're up to like $3,400, and we, you know, just randomly. So hopefully this fest really draws it together. Brian Kovacs started the Facebook Live broadcast calendar, which is such an awesome idea, and it's pulled us together. It's united us in crazy ways that the music scene has never been united before. So he joined us to kind of like put this together. You know, it's both basically like they kind of complement each other. So a lot of the artists have virtual tip buckets. A lot of them don't need the money, so they donate to different restaurants or charities or whatever, or to the Chicagoland Musicians Unite. So it's just it's really cool to see everybody come together. Everybody's really staying consistent with it, and it's growing. So this next step of Brian bringing all of you guys in and doing this is just so cool to watch, let alone 13 hours of a live virtual fest. This is such a cool idea. So
it's
I
pretty cool.
personally thank you guys for jumping on, and everyone that's on the screen right now is giving all the money to this GoFundMe. They're not accepting any money, which is just so cool because we're all hurting right now, whether you have a day job or not. It's a really awesome second income, or it's your only income. Either way, it's a punch in the gut. So the fact that you're taking a Saturday off and giving money towards this to help other musicians and sound guys and drummers that's the community, man. We're the best community in the world.
Yeah, you point that out, and that is true. This is the best scene in the Chicago market. It's the best Chicago music scene that there is in the whole country, and we are pretty happy that we're part of it. So, we have had a lot of questions come in on what Saturday is going to be like. So, Bryant, I'm just going to throw this quick at you, and I know, yeah, there you go, unmute. I know, I don't know how much detail you want to get into it, but everybody is going to be posting on their own page, and then our production team is going to pull them in with a whole video production that goes onto Huntley Fall Fest. Is that correct?
Yeah, it depends on what system you're using. If you're on a phone, we're just going to grab your feed and then we're going to put it on there. If you're a little bit more advanced like Brian is with the OBS system, and a few others are using it now, we can do it a different way. But Soundworks, which is the Fall Fest sound company, is now getting into live streaming. And I gave them a call because it would be really annoying to go live every half hour. I think we'd probably lose likes than gain likes. So instead of everybody going live every half hour, they're going to stream it together. So it's one big fest. Basically, like if you're watching Coachella, that's the entire day, 13 hours straight, with graphics on the bottom. So the GoFundMe link will be on the bottom of the page the entire time. It'll have the performer's name on the bottom left, the live fest on the bottom left as well, band logos on the bottom right. So obviously, I think there's a Zoom coming up for technical help Friday for you guys if you need any, if you just want a last minute assistance. Otherwise, it's Matt over at Soundworks and Dan at Soundworks who are putting this together with us. And they've been great with us. I mean, they're the best sound company out there. And obviously, they're moving into another arena that you guys might want to check out because they've got some other stuff that's coming up that's pretty cool. So, I mean, they've got a studio they're building as well. So
that's awesome. And Soundworks is the sound company that we use at Huntley Fall Fest in September as well, correct?
Yeah, they've been with us for about like 5 years. And I think Jim remembers probably the beginning of Fall Fest when you guys would come off the stage and scream that you couldn't hear anything with good old Lenny, rest his soul.
Yeah.
So people come off the stage and sound guys are like, don't ever switch to anybody else. So
Soundworks is great.
Yeah,
they're absolutely great. Judson, man, how you doing down there? And you're in my bottom right corner, so I'm gonna say down there. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Excited to be part of this and learning how to use Zoom on my phone. So.
Boy,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It is kind of hard on your phone when you have all these people. They're all like little tiny dots, right?
It is. Well, we have our OBS set up in the other room, but it was we're in the process of redesigning our set for our live stream, so it's all chaos right now. So I decided to set up in the kitchen with my phone for this. So
yeah, I want to see what's in your fridge, Judson. I'm
you
hungry.
want to see what's in my fridge? Hold on, Colleen's gonna give it to me. There we go.
Yeah.
So is there anybody here? Josie, you did a collaboration the other day with Adam Blair. Is there anybody here you'd like to do a collaboration? I'll put you on the spot, man. Just pick one of these amazing artists and say, let's do it.
Everyone, honestly, everybody. Anyone who's down to doing, I'm so down. It's so much fun,
Yeah, is it hard to put a song together when there's two of you that can't get together? So you're sending a video back and forth and editing it that way. Is it tough to do, or is it, Pino, I think you could answer that probably, or Tisa, or whoever's done the collabs this way. Is it really hard, or is it easy?
I think it depends who you're working with, what equipment they have, and honestly, the few that I've done they're challenging as a musician just because I want to give my best performance. And so it's very much like you're under a microscope, I feel like, a lot. And so that's what makes it most challenging, I think. But otherwise, it's just, I think just what, you know, even with working with musicians that you've never met before, I think there's just like a respect and a level of artistry and musicianship that you kind of like end up balancing and finding where you each kind of connect. And I think that's the interesting part about these collaborations, especially with musicians that you've never worked with before.
Yeah, Pino, I'd like to call you out. You did miss one chord on that Kiss tune. But I don't want to embarrass you or anything in front of all your peers, but just one little chord, no big deal.
You know,
it's all good.
In my defense, I will say that I switched a D minor for an F. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but
yeah, way sadder. That's the sadder chord, the D minor one. That's the saddest of all chords.
Yeah.
Musician approved. You're good, bud.
If I had a nickel for every chord that I missed, man, I'd be broke. So wait, what?
Pino, I had no idea that you played with John Swick and John Schiller. That's so weird, like how that even came about. I had no idea until just now. Like we both played in a band with the same people. I'm like, you find these things out later on.
It is interesting how small the world really is, you know, with all the musicians and the way everybody kind of.
Judson Brown went to high school with me. Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crazy. Small world.
Yes.
All right.
Two great talented guys too.
They are. God bless them.
You all are talented. It's amazing to be part of the world you're in. It's just awesome to watch. I wish I could watch everybody at the same time, but you know, there are things that we have to do around the house too. So sometimes I miss a few minutes of your shows. But Michael, I got to ask you, man, your live feeds, you sometimes do like 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds of a song, like you're almost cutting in a medley here and there. Why don't you just put all those 10 songs together and do a medley?
Because I have 4 kids in this house. They're on to me. Well, thank you, Jim. Hey, I just want to say hi to everybody. I know some of you, but the ones I don't, cheers. Nice to meet all of you.
Cheers.
You as well.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
If you guys haven't seen each other, now's the time, huh?
never
Have
met
you
Mike.
guys
Thank you.
watched? Have you guys watched shows that you haven't watched? Have you watched artists that you haven't seen?
Yes.
You know, what's your thoughts about seeing some of the music that, you know, you guys play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Eric, you're playing Monday through Sunday pretty much, so you don't get to see any.
I used to be, not anymore, but.
Well, I mean, in a normal world, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, no, it's really fantastic to be able to, first of all, thank God for technology that we can even be able to do this right now.
Right.
Because if this happened 20 years ago, none of us would be playing music to anybody except our families in our house. So, I mean, it's just to be able to do that. The Facebook Live thing's been amazing. And like you said, to see people that, you know, other musicians, local musicians that we may have never heard of before, met, being introduced to these new people and these collaborations that are going on. It's been incredible. It's been very cool.
And you know, I think one of the biggest things that I see, and some of you have mentioned it already, this scene that we're in is just so cool to be part of because this happens. Look at the power that is on this screen right now. All of you guys are amazing artists. And here we are sitting in a room chit-chatting about a live fest that we're putting on in a couple days that a year ago we would have never thought was going to happen. And I don't see anything like this going on across the country anywhere. So,
I mean, I think it's mind blowing when Brian sent out that poster with everybody's name on there, and I'm just scanning this going, holy cow!
I thought the same thing.
How much talent can you put in a single lineup? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it also says some. I'm sorry. I think it also says something that we all had to, we've all become like amateur TV producers. We've all like had to learn new skills. Some people are recording audio for the first time and sending it to other people. People have had to figure out OBS, had to figure out all these things. But that's the thing about it is that we're in this situation and we're making the best of it. And we're like, hey, this is the time to learn a new skill, and everybody's jumping on it. It's been fantastic.
Can I just say really quick, Brian, you sound like a podcast right now.
No.
That was incredible.
Amazing.
I'm actually
Totally
gonna
does.
ask, I'm actually gonna ask if we
Microphone.
can try and take a commercial break. It's like bring Paul
Goodbye.
McCartney to interview
Real
pretty
quick, guys and gals, I just want to say thank you so much for including me in Hillbilly Rockstars. I am honored and humbled to share a stage with, well, many of you I have shared stages with, and some of you I have not, but I've seen you or heard you or watched you out in the crowd. So I just want you guys to know that I'm very honored and humbled to be a part of this group. So thank you so much for including.
Same.
I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel the same way.
guys.
Make me cry, man. Don't
God
make me
bless you guys.
cry.
So
Hey,
honestly flowing.
I am so proud of the scene. I brag about every one of you guys. True story.
Yeah, that is a true story. I've heard you brag about everybody. Hey, welcome Kevin Molesky on. How are you, Kevin?
Hey, guys.
Kevin.
Hey, sorry, I'm
Speaking
late.
of amazing talent, Kevin Molesky. Woo!
I had to get the kids to bed.
No worries,
Nice.
no worries.
Totally get that.
I understand.
I just want to know, how is it possible that everybody has this much talent and everybody is so kind and so willing to help each other out? And I mean, I think Gina, you know, you're my go-to girl with anything. Gina's been the first one to hop in and tell me how to improve my podcast, or how to, don't get frustrated when you can't learn to play a bar chord. And
Well, you want to
I
be
just-
a guitar aficionado in like 3 months. You're like, I don't understand why this isn't happening.
Gina Gonzalez was the first one when I started doing unplugged things 3 years ago. I reached out to her because she was doing it, and she showed me everything she used. She guided me with microphones to her board to everything. She was
I'm telling you, everybody on here is so nice.
Let me jump in on the Gina love train. I just want to say, you know, a lot of folks are mentioned about the Facebook Live broadcast calendar. I started that thing, and I just, because I saw Gina and I saw Chris Siebold and I saw some other folks posting, and I had already gone live, and I was like, you know what, we need to not step on each other. And so I added Gina into the group, and Gina's the one who really spread the word and made it grow in the way that it has.
Gina, we love you.
We love you, Gina.
Jump on Scott's
Hey, Gina.
tails on this one. I don't know where oh, there you are, Scott. I was like, where did he go? I have seen and heard almost everybody here before this moment. And I am so blown away by the scene that we have in this area. And it's unbelievable. And I want to be helpful to everybody in whatever way I can. I think that's how it's supposed to be. I feel bad for people that don't have this, because they're all fighting for a spot, and it's like, why can't we all just work together? Why does it have to be
we all just get along?
You know, yeah, competition. You know,
I don't know, Gina. I mean, Gina, I gotta say, I mean, I think that that our competitiveness between you and I has been wonderful over the years, and it's really brought us to a different level.
Of course.
And like our mutual distrust for each other has really helped out.
Absolutely. Hate each other. Kevin. Let's be
you know,
honest.
And Kevin, I saw you for the first time. Dave Enslin shared it, and you just blew me away. You blew me away.
Thanks,
Your talent blew me away.
Side note, Kevin and I have known each other forever, so we'll just.
Yeah.
I figured.
Kevin is the man. Kevin is the man. He has amazing talent.
Listen, I think everybody that's on this, I was looking at this bill, and I got to be honest with you, I was like, how cool. I mean, I agree with all of you. I mean, we all agree that Gina's just an amazing person, and just, you know, damn you for not having children, but you know,
Sorry, dude.
But at the same time,
You're for a baby, Bella.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I think it's wonderful. I mean, everybody on this bill, I agree that we've all, you know, a lot of us have shared stages together, and how cool is it that during such a tumultuous time that we can all come together and say, we used to kind of, we had to compete a little bit to get the gigs, right? And now we're kind of like, no, we don't have to do that anymore. Let's just stick together. Let's come together. Let's sorry.
Watch that phrase.
Yeah, C-O-M. Yeah, C-O-M. Sorry.
How good the performance is, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. But there's so many
Let's
great
get
people.
weird.
Yeah, there's so many great people though. I agree 100% with everybody was saying, like when I popped on here, and I'm sorry I came in late, but thank you so much to all of you and to all the guys that everybody that's putting everything together. It's just that's not a small feat. It's never like even these festivals that none of us are doing right now that's a huge feat, and to think that we are not sorry, to think that we're like absolved and like, which is so great that everybody should come see us. We've really had a lot of humbleness that came out of this that I don't think a lot of us knew we all had, and I think it's really cool. And so I'm proud of all of us, and I think it's just really cool. We all should get together, and I think we should do like a 25-part harmony together.
Yeah,
that would really blow people's fucking minds.
Great. From my point of view,
best part of waking up.
You know what's great from my point of view as a photographer, and Becky, I'm talking for her as well, is I've shot all you guys on stage, and there are moments in every single one, and I'm looking around the screen, that there are moments that I have sat there and dropped my camera and just went, wow, this is just so cool to watch. And then I'm supposed to be taking photos of the fans and of you guys and you know what we do. But you guys, not only are you humble here on this thread, but just in person, you guys are all great. I haven't met any of you that I would say I wouldn't admire being a friend of yours. I mean, it's just honored to be a friend of yours. You know, it's
Well,
just great.
Jim, we can say the same for you, Jim. Absolutely the
That's
same
right.
for
Feelings
you.
mutual.
I mean,
We love you, Jim. Can't do that.
Love you, man.
You have always helped out with the event every year, and you've given your time and done so much for that. And hopefully this year it'll be still the same. I hope by then, you know, but you've done so much. I mean, and you've done so much for not even just with the event, but just in general. I mean, we know we love you, Jim.
I'm into that.
We love you and Becky. You and Becky.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
I just invited the mayor on, so
boy.
everyone's well aware of that.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're going
Des,
to the
I know you
R-rated
gotta go
section.
here. Des, I know you gotta go here in a second. You have a birthday party, so happy birthday. Please let him know that we said happy birthday. Thank you for joining us. What do you feel on what's going on with your live feeds and how this is all affecting your fans and all that? Are you just having fun out there, just having a good time?
Well, honestly, I think I started it because I saw a few people doing it, and I was like, at the time I was really scared, and I was really down because Jeff and I are full-time, 100%. Our whole income is Libido Funk Circus, and then the other our booking agency. But so it was very nerve-wracking for me to lose my entire income, and I was looking at the live stream as I freaking need this. I need this. It was terrifying because I'm not a technical person, and this is not, I mean, you should see my setup. It's pathetic. But I work with what I got, and I try and do what I can. So, but it started out as just being something for me to release with. And I was so thankful that there was an audience. I was like, what?
Did you all of you, did you find at one moment that you were like, if we don't get back to this, I've got to work my vocal cords and work that muscle to keep in tune with when you do come back to a live stage or a live audience, that you're ready and prepared? Is that part of what you're doing too?
I think,
Megan, what about you?
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think it matters if you're an instrumentalist or a vocalist. Like, anything muscle, it needs to be stretched.
Yeah, you're a little quiet, Megan. We can't hear you. Sorry.
Someone's doing dishes.
Oh, Judson.
Mayor, mute the mayor.
It's
No, I think it's Judson.
You got to mute Mayor.
What?
Mute him.
We could hear you
Mute
doing
him.
dishes.
I
Kick
think
him
your
out.
microphone's plugged in, actually. So I'm going to go back to that same question. Is it something that you need to prepare for the next time you're on live stage? If you guys took all the time off without, checking your vocals every once in a while, is that a stress factor that you have to think about?
Always singing in the shower.
You definitely have to keep it up. I mean, your voice is a muscle, and if you don't work it, I mean, now believe me, after playing a million shows over the past how many years, the 2 weeks off was amazing for my voice. I hadn't had 2 weeks off in literally 5 years maybe. So the first 2 weeks I didn't do anything. I didn't sing a note. Was really great. But I mean, yeah, if you go 2-3 months without singing or playing guitar or doing anything, you know, you get rusty as with anything. You have to keep it up, you know.
Going back to what Brian, what I was, you know, Brian had mentioned this. The reason that I jumped on doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday right off the bat is because I'm a full-time musician, and that's what I was normally doing. And I was so afraid that if I stopped doing that, regardless if one person was watching or, you know, 50 or what, it didn't really matter. It was that I didn't know how long this was going to last at the beginning. Of course, nobody did. But you stop for a little while, you'll lose, like Eric was saying, what you've built up. And then it's time to go back to work. And now you haven't sang and played for a month, that you're going to try to go and do the same schedule that you had before, and you're going to die. I mean, it's like going to really,
like your chops are
it's
going
to wither away. So, you know,
although I have drank a little bit more.
Well,
and that's affected, and that's affected.
We're gonna brush over that one
too. So I'm like, wow.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Gloss over that, okay?
I don't know. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
But you know, and I think a lot of us are in the same boat. I think that, you know, we all know that, and so this is definitely a way for us to continue to keep doing what we're doing, whether, like I said, one person's watching or 100 people watching. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna keep doing it no matter what. So
yeah, on that, I think that the emotional and mental part of it for us also, like I know in stressful times in my life, like I've really just needed to, like when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders and your chest, you just want to belt something out. And so honestly, there have been many times that, you know, I'm doing several shows a week. I'm doing 3 shows a week, and I have not felt like getting up out of bed. But I'll tell you what, every time I've done it and I've gotten up out of bed and I've done my show, I've always felt better afterwards.
Totally.
And the biggest benefit of this to me has been the fan interaction. That's something that we don't get when we're actually on stage. But in this instance, there's conversations that happen, and you can invite conversations with the fans. You get to learn about your fans, and then they're meeting each other, and then there's new friendships being born. It's been just a fantastic thing that I look forward to every time I do a show.
Well, that, and they get a more candid view of us. It's cool to see. Yeah. Inside all of your rooms, I feel like a really creepy peeping Tom, but I love it.
You are. You are. It's okay. It's okay, Jim.
But watching, getting to interact, getting fans of people that have nothing to do with this music scene, they just go out 10 times a year to the bands they like to see. They get to watch them. They get to say hi to them. You say hi back to them. It's a one-on-one conversation. You get to comment and put requests in, and holy shit, Josie just played that song I said. I didn't think that she'd actually do that. Or, you know, it's just, I think there's a different level of connectivity to the fans as well, that we don't get when you're talking to a ton of people and it's super loud and there's a drunk girl yelling, "It's my birthday," and you don't get any of it.
Just a small girl.
Do you guys all go back to your feeds and watch them again, but not to watch you, but to watch all the comments? And do you comment back on those comments as well?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know we're allowed to do that. Oops. Okay, cool. Well, this is gonna be a lot more fun. All right, bring it on, Jim.
Yeah, because you miss requests and you miss
just MySpace Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's extra, like the extra part added to that where it's like, I think as a vocalist, there's something to be said for doing it live and then like leaving it there. And so when you're able to go back and like be like,
oh, shouldn't have said that.
Game film.
It's been funny too to see like what things that feel, you're like, say you screwed something up or whatever, and you're like, man, that felt like that took 30 seconds to happen, when in reality it was only like 3 seconds, or you know, when you're talking in between songs or whatever. But it's interesting though. It holds a mirror up for sure.
On a whole other subject, I can't stop touching my face.
For sure.
There's definitely notes I wish I could have taken back. You're like, oh, I wish I could take back that note. Oh well.
Yeah.
You know what though?
There's
a little bit of freedom in doing things live too, because if you're recording something for, let's say, a video or something that you're really trying to perfect, I'll beat myself to death and do something 400 times to get it right, where I'm live and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that train wreck.
100%. I agree with you.
Listen, I've been doing these collaborations with one-on-one people live, and I could post them. I could, record my part and post it. It's so much more fun to do it with them just playing, obviously they're pre-recorded. Pino, you were pre-recorded, but my part is live, and it's, with, especially like if I play with Brian, my drummer, man, that could go horribly wrong very quickly because I'm not getting anything from him other than his track, but I think that's part of the excitement of like, let's see how far can I take this,
Hey, Mayor Manicana just got on, and I don't know why his video isn't showing up, but I am going to unmute him.
Still?
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a reason.
I can't even unmute him right now, so that's unfortunate.
All right,
so I have a couple of questions that came in. Give me 1 second. One from Amanda. When you guys are all, when we are all back into the real world, will you keep up the live streams here and there, on a regular basis?
100%.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a new skill set that you have now, so you might as well continue to flex it, right? Like if you can.
It's such a great platform to be able to do it. And I definitely think this is going to change things forever. I mean, I know that live music will always be a feeling that nobody can describe of being in a live venue with people around you and the energy. But I mean, I definitely think there's something intimate about being able to do these live streams and vulnerable and just, I think I would definitely do them once in a while for sure. I would.
The reach is great too. I've had so many people, friends of mine that have moved to Colorado, Arizona, haven't seen us in 5-10 years or whatever.
Absolutely.
So that part is, so my dad jumps on, like my dad never goes to shows. And he was just hanging out, there's a different reach that you can get where like, especially for our acoustic deal, going to a bar, your reach is 50 people. For this, at any point in time, you have people coming in and out from all over the place. So it's
the world.
It's a different platform that I never realized, or they can't afford to go out, or they don't have a babysitter. Or I can drink a glass of wine and put you on my TV.
Who knew here that you had fans? I had a watch party a couple of weeks ago in Brazil.
Germany.
Yeah, right?
Germany.
Totally.
That's awesome.
I was and one person,
German.
Hello from Australia. I was like, okay, hi.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So isn't that just that's the coolest thing in the world? So the answer, I think the answer for me is for sure. Absolutely, 100%.
It's a good platform to like experiment too. Like if you have a song that you want to try and you're like, I don't know if it's going to go over, and then you're just doing it, this way, so you don't have to do it live and bomb.
That's totally true, John. Yep.
Well, I know Jim and Jess are going to keep doing it because their commute home after the show is a lot shorter.
Drinking and driving.
The load-ins and loadouts are phenomenal.
They're amazing.
Amen.
I actually have a question here from Ariana, and this is for me. So you guys are all going to get a kick out of this. Who do you want to do a car karaoke with in this group that I'm talking with right now? And I'll be very honest with you. I would love to do one with every single one of you guys, but I don't think you're all going to fit in my car, in my Mini Cooper. So.
I like it. It could be a new concept, like clown car karaoke, and we just all pack in one car and try and sing
You
together.
get one of those like festival buses.
Harmonies.
Yeah.
Be like a clown car.
We should just rent a limo.
Yeah, like
Jim,
a festival limo or whatever. Those.
Just take your laptop out to the car right now, bud. Just go. Go ahead. We'll wait.
Totally.
We can rent a corporate bus.
Awesome to go.
I drive a bus, so I could get a school bus.
I will apologize to every single one of you for messing up any songs that you ever loved. Just so you know.
Just did that Peter Gabriel tune. I love that tune.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
great.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then you did the Little Drummer's Boy at the party. Remember?
Oh my God! Yeah,
With
I
David
forgot
Bowie
the words for the first three. I looked out in the crowd and I saw the crowd. I'm like, how do you guys do this? It's so crazy.
It's really
I
hard when
got
you're
it.
reading the comments. When you're reading comments on the live stream, I'm like, I see people's names, and then I'm like, what are the words to the song again? It's hard.
I have to close my eyes a lot of times because otherwise I am looking at the comments and then I will forget a lyric.
Yeah.
I think I asked Eric that the other day. What do you think about when you're singing a song,
Oh, God.
and it's this format, as opposed to being out on a stage with live people. You're just singing, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
But when you're in this format, is it that much different? That
It actually is. See, now the first couple, I don't know what's better, to be honest. I mean, the first couple I didn't have a computer or anything in front of me, so I couldn't read comments. But I did have people, kind of giving me notes like, here's a request for this, request for that. But I wasn't getting that feedback like we were talking about, seeing the hearts and seeing, wow, this is great, or play this song, whatever. So then I said, I want to be more interactive with the crowd. So I put my laptop, set it up. And now I've got to try and sing into a phone. I got to try and remember the chords, sing, remember the words. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking over here, trying to read a conversation at the same time. My brain's gonna explode, So it's like, it's much more fun that way, but I don't know, it's still nerve
We're going
wracking.
to be the ultimate multitaskers by the end of all of this.
it's just mind-boggling to me to see you guys all do that.
I've had 3 complete train wrecks during my show, and actually that's part of my favorite parts of it. There was 3 times where I just started a song and went, you know what? I screwed this up. We're just going to move on.
Yeah, that never happens with me, Brian.
Happened to me tonight. That was a good time.
Does anybody else here feel like they're
You know,
on,
it was
like,
good
the
up until you were like,
Brady
forget it.
Bunch?
Yeah,
Does anyone else feel
You're
like,
like,
they're
we're
on
gonna move
the
on.
Brady Bunch with all these windows?
Yeah, Scott, totally.
Brady Bunch theme coming, or?
You know what, though? I agree with you that, Brian, when you say that you had these train wrecks, but for me, when I watch you guys, I see the reality of what your artistry is. And, you are real, and you are showing that you're real. And it's just refreshing to me to know that, you know what, you can start a song over. It's okay. You can stop in the middle of a song and say, I don't care about doing this song right now because I'm going to do another song that's going to be better or whatever. For me, I love it. I think it's real. I think it's down to earth. And I think it just shows who you guys are as artists. And it's just amazing to me.
I think it's the connection with the fans, though. That's the thing that lightens the load for me, anyways, is the interaction and people just like laughing along with me. And it's been, like I said, that direct connection with the people has been everything as far as this thing. And that's why I know I'm going to continue doing this. Like I pick daytime slots specifically because, 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can keep doing that even once we all go back to work.
But I think that's what people want to see, though. I think they want to see the realness of it. From my experience anyway, they want to feel connected to whatever you're doing. So if you put on a show that's completely perfect from beginning to end, they're just like, okay, that was great. But then you do something where they're like, oh my God, they're like really doing that. Like,
It's an honest
wow,
performance.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
an honest
I think
performance, and
they-
it's a real thing, and it's nice to see because we're all different levels of talent, whether it's singing or guitars or whatever. But we're all amateurs at trying to multitask, be your producer, your director, your editor, your singer.
Jim, put the hat on already.
Brian, that is such an aggressive mic. My gosh, like you talking, I'm like,
sorry.
whoa!
I'm sorry.
I got to say, some of the messages that I've gotten, emails and messages of fans thanking us for doing it, saying that I was so down that day and that you made my day and you played the song I wanted you to play. And, that's what it's all about for us. It always has been, honor
Absolutely,
on stage.
Scott.
That's what it's all about.
In the same way, the other way around, like Brian was saying, there were days where he didn't want to get out of bed, and I felt the same way. Just wake up feeling, you just don't feel it, but you do it. The show must go on. So when you do it, by the 30 seconds into the first song, you're already feeling better, and then by the end of the show, you're so happy that you did it because you just had a blast. I mean, I haven't had one bad time during any of these shows I've done.
Oh, I've had more people at live streams than actual shows sometimes.
I think we all have.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to say,
oh man,
There's
I have
the
to say
mayor.
the same
Hi,
thing
Mayor.
in regards to.
Hey, Mayor.
Hey
Welcome,
guys.
Mayor.
Hey.
Hey.
Here's
The
my-
mayor's here, shot
There
time,
he
shot
is.
time.
Hey.
I'm like everybody's dad right now. I'm like, hello? How is this? Am I zooming? So I got it on.
Welcome to the live feed. I'm gonna throw Megan and Chris and Kate. So this question is directed just at you guys for really just the couple things that I've seen with you recently. Chris and Kate, you did a Disney song the other day, right?
We did.
Yeah, that was amazing. And Megan, you were on an interview today where you talked about doing Disney songs or show tunes or stuff like that. Is that a different world that you'd like to bring into your show? And is that something that you would love to have?
100%.
Whole new world.
Someone say it. It's a whole new world.
100%.
100%. Absolutely. I think it would be great. I think it'd be great, especially for fest season. I mean, what kid isn't walking through a fest, May through September and hearing Frozen or hearing and going, excuse me, ma'am, what are you doing? So I would love to do that. I mean, I think it'd be awesome to put wedding band spin on it. The guys always come up with some kind of spin for the band and like, this is how wedding band is going to do it. So it would definitely be interesting to see what came of it for sure.
Chris,
Yeah.
Kate?
Definitely. I think it's super fun. I think that's like, oh, I lost my little earbud. I think that's like what you guys were talking about earlier. That's the kind of bonus to what's going on right now is just being able to experiment and do things that you don't normally do in your live show with the band. And, I always sound check with A Whole New World. So it's been fun to play around with that a little bit and just goof off. And I think a lot of, just gives us the opportunity to play with stuff that we don't typically do in our shows. That's fun.
Yeah, that video you guys did was great.
It was the best. It was the best.
Her idea.
Megan, I'm living for your stuff. I'm living for all the
Thanks.
Disney.
For sure.
I've been like doing the Disney sing-alongs too, I'm not even singing. I'm like just yelling them at Chris.
Yeah.
It just means we'll have to do something together, clearly.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in.
Oh, I'd love to see a collab between you guys. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right, welcome Adam back. Adam, we lost you just for a second. Mayor, I'm going to throw this at you. We've been talking about you for the last 40 minutes before you got on.
Oh.
You missed all the things. You're going to have to go back
I'm
and watch
sorry.
all that video. No worries, no worries. What do you think about this world that we're living in today?
Well,
The fest season, the going live stuff, all that kind of thing.
oh my God, man, so many things. I mean, how about just this pandemic alone is enough to deal with, I think
your live feed the other day was great though, in your Star Wars getup.
hell, you saw that? Thank you very much. Nerdfest 2020. If you guys haven't seen it, check my feed.
It's awesome.
I've caught a few.
Right on.
I've got Darth Vader right over there. Okay. So
Yeah, man. I think, I mean, there's a lot of really scary things right now, but I think there's a lot of really great things. I heard some of you guys talking about them, and I think, I think this is a great, all of us right now in this Zoom, I think spend a lot of time just being away from home, not in our beds, doing a lot of stuff and overexhausting ourselves. And this is kind of a blessing, isn't it? Just to be able to be in our own bed and recoup and reevaluate. And, I struggle with the same stuff that you guys do. And I would just like to say that, we are enough. We are. We're all enough.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I think the really great thing about this format has been that as artists, we all have this opportunity in front of these fans to do. I think all of us in the back of our head, we always have that thing going, well, what are people going to react to? That imaginary maskless face of people. And I think that it's always kind of in the back of our head. But in this case, we have this opportunity as artists to kind of branch out and try some different things in front of a captive audience. And I've been finding it's been going amazingly well. A lot of people are willing to go along with a lot more different things than you might expect at a typical show in the scene.
Yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Great. That brings up a question too. Any of you guys working on your own songs, your originals, anything coming up that you guys want to share?
Wait, now share? Or
No, I don't mean sing now.
Okay, I was
but
like, it's not quite done yet, Jim.
Please continue, Chris.
I mean that. We're on Zoom. It doesn't sound good on Zoom. Let's not do that. But are you guys working on stuff that, give some insight?
I don't know
to
about
some of
anybody
the
else,
things
but
you're
I'm
making?
definitely experimenting with something that I wouldn't normally do because of all this free time that I have now, aside from the live streams that we're doing. When it comes to original music, I am experimenting in more digital stuff than I would normally, which I kind of did earlier before this happened, but now I'm like full on into it because why not? I mean, we can't do it now. When can we do it? So absolutely.
I think
I know
a big
we
thing
were-
was when I started. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I think since obviously, we've been all, at home, I've been kind of reaching back into my old bag of tricks, I guess you could say. It's one of those things where you kind of just draw the inspiration from what's going on. I mean, like the song just has to arrive. It's hard to just write if you're like forcing it, or you could tell, but like it's kind of easy for it to arrive because I'm stuck in the house and
Listening to Disney tunes.
whichever movie on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
It's funny too to be on stage, a couple times a week with with bands doing cover stuff, doing other people's music, which is wonderful because you get to bring joy to people through music that they love already. But I've found it interesting in the past too. I feel like sometimes as a performer too, you want to be on stage, you want to have that exchange with the audience, and so sometimes after the full weekend, I'm already satiated, if that makes sense, as far as like that goes. So it leaves me less of a. Sometimes it leaves me a little, you got to rest after a weekend of shows. So it's like, it leaves me less than a desire sometimes to work on my own stuff. But I feel like this has been a really good excuse for that. And it's like, okay, well, this Fall Fest, for instance, or a show or two that I've done before, it's like, okay, well, this is giving me something to look forward to, and like just straight up have a deadline, be like, all right, I want to have some songs ready for that. So it's been nice to be able to refocus on original stuff and be like, oh, that's right, okay, that part of me it's there too. Yeah, it's not just this band or the other. Yeah.
I will say this, Adam, that I have I've been introduced to one of your originals that there will definitely be a banjo part that I'll be sending to your way.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that'd be excellent.
I don't know if Dave told you, but I was losing my mind, dude. So
no, you didn't. That's great.
It's been fun just watching all of you guys, and it's kind of like, okay, do I want to use the guitar, the piano? Oh, I still have a ukulele and a banjo, and oh my gosh, I can hear it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we need a 26-part harmony song.
100%.
Yeah, something not called "We Are the World," but maybe, maybe like "We're All Badasses." That would be great.
All Chicago. All Chicago.
Yeah, sure. That's fine too, Jim. That's awesome.
Brian, unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
So can you read off the set list that we have for Saturday? Do you have that in front of you or no?
On my phone, I can pull it up for you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to do that, Jim, what were you going to say?
I'm sorry, I have to go. My kids are going bananas. It's past their bedtime. But I genuinely want to thank, especially Brian and the Huntley Fall Fest. I have seen Zero Fest do the activity, not only for this to support our GoFundMe, but to support other artists. They're always sharing pages. They're going above and beyond. A lot of fests just thrown in the towels and just logged off social media altogether. And who knows if this fest is going on? It's looking like it should be, and they're just saying, well, then we're going to promote it like it is, and they're just going to go full bore. And I have so much respect for that, because I haven't seen any other fest even come close to what you guys are doing. And to put this together and let alone bring all of this talent on one screen to donate to one cause to support the music scene is just amazing.
Big
So
man
my
is
hats
coming
off
on.
to you guys.
Absolutely.
And my hats off to all of you guys. I've worked with you 100 times over, each person on the screen, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for doing this and being a part of this. We appreciate it so much. Support all these guys, and we'll talk soon. I'm going to go wipe some asses. Okay.
Bye, Jim.
Take care of your
glasses.
And in addition, I wanted to say, guys, that Bryant has had the foresight on this. He's been on from the beginning, sharing out shows, and the Huntley Fall Fest site has been doing shows. So this is, I mean, we're not just talking about this fest. I mean, we're talking about he has had the foresight from the beginning to be helping us out as artists. So thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
Cheers to you.
I mean, even some guy named Pino who, right?
Thank you, Brian. For all
Yeah.
Is that a kind of wine?
And then there's another guy down there at the bottom. I think it's Richie, right?
Oh, where did he come?
That's here.
He just
Yeah.
Replace Jim.
He is snuck on.
So I just brought Rich on. Everybody, I just brought Rich on. Rich, you're working for this Saturday for the live fest that we're doing. You're working on a 30-minute, never before seen show video, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Wow, that was a big, long answer, Richie.
The man, a few words.
I am so surprised. I am so surprised it was that short.
Password is
It's like a cast of characters, really, in it.
That sounds like
What
a hell of a
show?
workload.
What fest did you put together, Rich?
So that's where I'm in a dilemma. I'm not sure which one to put because we've shot a bunch of different concerts over the last few years, and I don't know which one. When we shot them, we didn't intend to make them concerts. So there's some parts of the concerts where I don't have Adam, like a lot of video of Adam, and so that's kind of a problem because he's a singer. So I'm probably going to still put some of them up on with the Huntley one. I'm trying to see if I can resurrect one of the Huntley shows we did. I have the video, but I don't have the audio. So I'm trying to piece together different concerts. I have a whole bunch from them that I'm working on. So
Make sure you put Tamara in there.
What's that?
Make sure you put Tamara in there.
I did on the last one we did for Stronger. She came up and sang "Don't Stop Believing."
Right.
Rich, I got an idea. 30 shows in 30 minutes.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Ready to go.
I love Adam and he's sexy and all, but she's much better to look at.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play. I want to play. I'm
Well,
ready.
we're waiting for you to sing, Richie.
Yeah, you don't want to sing. I don't.
Hotter than fire, right?
This panel, I ain't saying a thing.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
There is a
songs.
song.
In the corner, play my guitar.
CD. There is a
Oh.
CD with him singing on it, by the way. There is a CD with you singing on it. So
I sing on a lot of our records.
There's a
Actually.
few.
No, I mean by
lead vocals,
yourself.
lead
I
vocals.
know I sing a song on a bunch of our records.
Is this true, Nick Cox? Is this true?
He isn't going to do it. We've been trying this for years. It's not going to happen.
It's true. It's true. He'll never do them live, but it's true. He sneaks one in every album. It's like all of a sudden I'm like, where the hell did that song come from? No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's funny.
So,
Nick,
so for
Nick,
your show,
I like when you answered that, Nick, and you're like, it's true. It's true.
It is true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
so for Saturday's Live Fest, any of you guys going to be showcasing anything new?
My band.
Nice.
That's
So-
awesome.
Yeah, TCK and the Hype. I mean, we were supposed to have our debut show on the 16th. And when this whole thing took place, I haven't even rehearsed a full band yet. We haven't had a chance to get together. So my guitar player, my drummer, we're gonna do some social distance acoustic versions of some of the songs we're gonna debut. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
I have a couple originals that I want to probably be debuting.
Yeah.
One of them's titled "If the Phone Don't Ring, You'll Know It's Me," and the other one is "I Wouldn't Take Her to a Dog Fight Because I'm Afraid She'll Win."
Oh,
So those are two of my country songs I'll be debuting this week.
Oh, here's to that.
Josie, how about you? Do you have anything new you're going to work on?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a couple originals.
Awesome.
The whole band, we're working on stuff right now, but I don't want to let that stuff out yet. But soon.
Yeah, you talked about it on the interview last night that you guys are working on a new album.
Yes, yeah, we're working on some stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be a full-blown album, but we'll definitely be coming out with
Oh,
it.
I forgot my first, or I should say my next release, which is "How Can I Miss You When You Won't Go Away." That's gonna be the title track.
Sounds like love.
Wait, Scott, that's my song. I called that. I did that too.
Well, you inspired it. Remember, Kevin, when we were on stage together and you said, "Hey, you mother trucker, you stole my drummer."
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. I forgot about that guy.
Thank you for forgiving me, by the way.
No problem. He's good. He's good.
That's awesome. Gerald, how about you and Camille? Are you guys working on anything new for this? You guys haven't really done anything because Camille's been feeling under the weather and she's feeling better now. So are you working on anything?
I'm not sure. She comes over tomorrow. We rehearsed and we'll figure something out, but we don't have anything planned at the moment. So
Right on.
I do have one
Should be
thing
fun.
new. for my show, the one thing new is my brother, Ral Donner Jr. We're actually going to be doing our first show together as the Donner Brothers. Since
Oh,
Yeah.
they asked us to do it, so nobody get mad.
Are you finally gonna do Kiss the Clown for me, Eric?
What's that?
Are you finally gonna do Kiss the Clown for me?
Kiss the Clown. That's when I do my next show with Chips Enough. That's coming up the next one.
Well, you don't know what you got until you lose it.
That definitely will be there. Yes, that for anyone watching here on Zoom or on Facebook, that was my brother and I. Our father was a famous singer back in the 50s and 60s, Ral Donner. That was his biggest hit. So we will be playing our dad.
Ah, that makes sense.
We wore that song out
way back in the day.
We
Thought
wore
you were
that song
time
out on their jukebox at their house. I used to hang out with Ral and his brother when we were younger.
Right.
We wore that song out on their jukebox.
Yep.
Along with Kiss Rock and Roll Over, but that's a whole nother story.
I was with my mom the other day, and your dad's song came out on Sirius XM, the 50s channel.
Yeah,
so
I saw
looked
that
at
on
I
your-
looked at
Yeah,
my
she
mom and
posted
I
it
was
on the
like,
filler.
I go, hey, like look, it's their dad, and she's like, I remember. My mom's just hanging. She's like, I remember this song.
Oh,
She
I
was
love
dancing.
it.
I had to record. It wasn't that song though. What?
It was actually one of his latest hits, and
Oh, it was so
one of his-
good.
It was
You
one
gotta
of his
cover that.
best. And you know who else shared that song on Twitter one day? It was Robert Plant.
Oh.
Robert Plant throws up a YouTube video because that was one of his favorites of our dad. So, but that was
You
all.
have to
Thank you-
play that
thank you, America.
song. It was so good.
Thank you very
It's
much.
so good.
My favorites. Love it.
That's awesome. So one of the fans in our group here wants to know, will we be able to rewatch this live fest at a later date? So Brian, we're going to keep it on the Facebook page, so they'll be able to rewatch it anytime, right?
Yeah, and then actually, if you look in the comments there, you see Matt McWilliams. He's actually from Soundworks, and they're recording the entire thing. So hopefully, we'll get it on YouTube as well.
Perfect.
Then it can be shared that way. So, but yeah, it'll be entirely taped.
No pressure at all, guys. No pressure at all.
Yeah, right? Jeez Louise.
So any mistakes like snafus or anything like that, yes, will get caught.
Yeah, I don't even
Yay.
need a band. It's me, an acoustic guitar, and a drum. So that's going to be pretty fun. No pressure.
So I know some of you might have to go. It is past 10 o'clock already. It went so fast, and I appreciate you guys all
Yeah,
being here.
I have to wipe some
I'll stay
asses.
on as long as you guys want to stay on, but
Is he at Jim's house?
Right?
Go.
I got to teach my kids tomorrow, guys. So I'm out. It's a pleasure seeing all of you. Jim, thanks for hosting. Brian, thanks for doing this.
Hey,
We'll see you guys next time.
let's talk about the charity. What are we doing this for? Jim?
Yeah.
yeah,
Bye,
well, we
Tisa.
did talk about that with Jim
Bye, guys.
Ladilla already, but
Yeah.
it is, Tisa, you can go. Thank you. I appreciate
Bye,
your
guys.
time. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, Tisa.
Thanks for being a teacher with those kids.
Absolutely.
Yes. So the GoFundMe is a Chicago Musicians Unite GoFundMe Facebook or fundraiser that was put together quite a while ago. And really the idea is to help artists that aren't able to do what you guys are doing, or maybe that are struggling a little bit more than some others. It was started right when this all happened, and Jim Wadilla and Carrie Devine and Tisa put it together. In that regard, they set up a GoFundMe link and just been collecting and trying to put this together. And from what I understand in talking with them, they're going to expand this as much as they can as a full charity going forward, even when this is over. As you know, there are challenges and things that happen with artists here and there that they need funds. And this GoFundMe event is going to help them out. So we
Just so
appreciate
everybody
them
knows,
putting it together.
there already have been funds distributed from the Chicagoland Musicians Unite Fund. I mean, there have been musicians who have already benefited from the fund. So, I mean, the money as it comes in is trying to get funneled out immediately to the people that need it the most.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Right. And it's a nonprofit, right, Brian? It's a nonprofit run by musicians that know
Yep.
musicians. So, there isn't anybody that's taking any funds for it. It's just all going right back into the community, all back into the musicians that are in and around the Chicago area. So we appreciate that. Anything else? Well, if you guys want to stick on, we can stick on.
I would love to say that I am grateful for so many, like all of you guys. I mean, I know like even Eric said, and I know Brian said, like there's days where you just struggle and you just are like all these emotions. I know like I've talked to some people personally that on here, like we're all dealing with all these emotions and waves. And 1 minute you feel great, 1 minute you feel motivated, and 1 minute you're irritated. And it's such a crazy feeling going through all this and the uncertainty of when, where, how, and when, I guess is a question for so many of us. But I can't thank you all, like for me, like some of the reach outs from people, some of the personal FaceTimes from people and calls, and just even the live streams have like made my day, even on days that I know that some of the people that have watched on here that are in the room, but even for myself, I've had days where I'm like, oh, and then I pop on and see a Donner brother. I pop on and see, Adam like running around his house, and I pop on and see like everybody, and Megan doing Disney stuff, and just everybody doing their thing is inspired me and just pushed me, even myself, on the lower days. So I love all you guys so much. So
I'm into that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. All right. Well, with that said,
Jim, I think the cool thing really is that we're never going to see this lineup in a fest again. Really.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all.
I'm optimistic enough to say we will, but
yeah.
I don't want you guys out of work that long.
Oh, Brian, maybe this is the challenge that you have to figure out how to do a live
Yeah, then we're
on
just gonna have to do it
stage
live.
show with everybody like this.
What's really cool about the streaming is that there's no like flip overs with the equipment. Like it's just like click, click. So it's like really fast. So like I'll be watching Eric and I'll see him like pop up on mine, and then I'll see Gina. Like it's really cool. Like there's no like turnover.
Yeah.
Which is unique to this type of festival.
And the kegs backstage won't be running out. So that's
You guys are going to have your own kegs.
You guys get kegs?
My tequila's gone, so this is gonna have to end soon. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm going to show up at every festival, whether they cancel or not. I'm just going to show up and play.
Nice.
And drink your beer
not
too.
in an open parking lot with a acoustic guitar, nobody there.
That's your new stream.
I'm bringing my 69 VW bus back.
Yeah, I'm taking Richie's headline spot at Elgin Rib Fest this year.
That's great.
You can have it. It rains every year anyway.
That's great.
Boy.
Brian, do you have anything else you want to add, maybe?
No, thank you. I mean, it's going to be awesome to see everything's coming together, and we've got nobody that's dropping out. I mean, it's awesome. So thank you to everybody that's helped out and, putting in the half hour, 45 minutes, and everybody else that's put in promo videos and all kinds of stuff. And there's some really creative stuff going on. So it's awesome to see.
It's awesome.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Brian,
Thank you so much.
Good times, good people.
Brian, I love your hair. I love your hair.
Everybody, let's
Love
give it
you
up for
guys.
Jim.
Shiny.
For Jim, our
Just
host.
like I'm like
Thank
Kevin.
you, Jim.
Almost.
Thanks, everyone.
Jim.
The only
Thank
way out
you,
is
guys.
through.
I love all you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Love
We'll
you
see
more,
you on
Steve.
Saturday. I
Love,
appreciate you all being here. Again, Saturday, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning on the Huntley Fall Fest Facebook page. Hey, don't forget, I don't know if Brian, you set this out or not, but don't forget, remember the artist that's after you. So you can just do a quick shout out to say, hey, stick around for whoever's after you. That'll make it flow just a little bit better as well. So have fun with it. I can't wait to see all your shows.
Shout out to all the fans that keep supporting us, whether we're online or in person. You guys,
Ariana, Brittany.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brittany, thank you, and Ariana, and everybody so much. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, share.
Agreed.
Share.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you
I
Saturday.
appreciate your sticking around.
Thanks,
See
Jim.
ya.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Howdy.
So long.